Hello there to all the parishioners at St. Thomas More. I want to wish you a belated happy feast day. St. Thomas More's feast day was celebrated along with that of St. John Fisher this past Monday, June 22nd. Thomas More actually was not beheaded until July the 6th. June the 22nd marks the day of John Fisher's martyrdom, but nevertheless, we celebrate the two saints together on June the 22nd. So a belated happy feast day. Number of matters I wanted to review with you this weekend. One is some changes in our clergy serving St. Thomas More Parish, which many of you are probably already aware of. I want to talk with you a little bit about the second phase of our transitioning back to the public celebration of our weekend masses and other liturgies. I want to review with you our summer liturgical schedule. Also, I want to review with you a little bit or give you a little bit of an update on how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the finances of the parish, just to keep you aware of all that. And then finally, just inform you all that this weekend we'll be celebrating our patronal feast day at all of our weekend masses. Regarding all of the clergy changes, if you're not aware of it, Bishop Cacciano has reassigned Father Michael Clark, who has served here so well and selflessly for any number of years under various capacities as a guest, as a seminarian, as a deacon, and now as a priest. And as of July 1st, he will be assigned as the parochial vicar at St. Rose of Lima Parish in Newtown. Brendan Blowie is now Reverend Mr. Brendan Blowie. He received the sacrament of holy orders. He was ordained a deacon of the church this past Saturday at St. Augustine's Cathedral. And as a deacon, Deacon Brendan Blowie will now be able to proclaim the gospel and deliver homilies in the context of the holy sacrifice of the Mass. He can preside at baptisms and weddings and committals. He can now serve at the altar, primarily as minister of the chalice. So we congratulate and welcome Brendan to this role of deacon in our parish. And I would ask you to, in lieu of the fact that we cannot have a public celebration, to congratulate both of these men and to express our thanks, that if you have gifts or cards, thank you notes or congratulatory notes you'd like to send to them, I'd encourage you to do so and to send them here to the parish office, and we'll make sure they get passed on to either Father Michael or Deacon Brendan. The bishop has also decided to reassign a Father Ignacio Ortiga from St. Aloysius in New Canaan to St. Thomas More. And Father Ignacio will begin serving St. Thomas More Parish as of September 1st. So just as a quick outline, Father Michael will be reassigned as of July 1st, and Father Ignacio will be arriving in St. Thomas More September 1st. So July will be a little bit tight for us, but we've found a priest who's willing to help us with our weekend masses. And on that point, let me transition into phase 2 of our returning to the public celebration of masses and liturgies. As you're well aware, we've now moved from celebrating masses outdoor in our parking lot to masses indoor. The church can accommodate 64 parishioners at any one time in order for us to maintain appropriate social distancing. I want to reassure everybody that we are taking every precaution to not only celebrate the Mass with dignity and reverence, but to protect and ensure the safety, health, and well-being of all of our parishioners. So social distancing of 6 feet is maintained by the seating outline in the church. There is hand sanitizer upon entering the church and before receiving the Eucharist, and the church is regularly disinfected in between masses, and masks are required by anybody assisting or participating at the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. Because of the limited seating capacity, and in order for us to be able to trace and contact people if someone should contact COVID-19, that you need to register ahead of time on the parish website, and that's easily done by just following the links and the prompts. I wanted to update you on our summer liturgical schedule, also with the hope of beginning to resume our weekday celebration of Masses. Because of the need to disinfect the church between every Mass, our weekend Mass schedule will be as follows. The Saturday Vigil will be celebrated at 4:30. Sunday morning Masses will be at 7:30, 9:30, and 11:30, and then the Sunday evening Mass at 5:15. Not this week, but next week, beginning, I think it's July the 6th, we'll begin once again to have weekday morning Masses. So on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, we'll resume our morning weekday Masses at 9 a.m. On Thursdays and Fridays, rather than Mass, we'll have adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. Because so many of our parishioners have expressed their gratitude and their pleasure at being able to pray before the Blessed Sacrament during the pandemic, we have decided to add to our weekly liturgical schedule a Tuesday night adoration and benediction in the church from 7:30 to 8:30, during which time confessions will also be available. And as far as our regular confession schedule, we will continue to hear confessions following our regular weekend schedule, which would mean from 3:45 to 4:15 on Saturday, following the 7:30 Mass from 8:15 to 8:45, and on Sunday a half an hour before the 5:15 Mass, meaning 4:45 to 5:15. All of this information is available on our parish website. Regarding the parish's finances, we have taken, depending on the week, either a 50% or 30% decrease in our budgeted offertory since March. That's having a significant impact on our ability for the parish to continue in all of the various ministries and services it tries to provide to our parishioners. I'll be sending out an email to every family updating you with some of the details, but I would just ask you, perhaps this year, in an effort to help us close this gap, you might consider actually increasing your weekly offertory and mailing it in to us. You might consider a one-time substantial financial gift to help us close the gap. And I would certainly encourage everybody, if you haven't done so yet, to go to our parish website and register for online giving in an effort to make both your life and the parish's life easier and to help us sustain a consistent cash flow. Lastly, as I say, this weekend is our patronal feast day, a day of great joy for all of our parishioners. So I certainly would encourage you to attend one of our 5 indoor masses, or to sit with yourself or your family and watch the video recording of the Mass on our parish website sometime during Sunday, and join with us in celebrating and giving thanks to the life and martyrdom of St. Thomas More, the patron saint of statesmen and lawyers, a man not only for all seasons, but we might argue very strongly a saint and a man for the particular times in which we live. God bless you. Again, happy feast day. And I'd ask you in turn to please keep me, Deacon Brendan, and Father Michael in your prayers. Take care.